Namaskar, Hari Om. Having heard all the four senior and eminent speakers before, I'm just, as usual, what is that I can add now, which is different and not Drushtapurvam, yeah, na Uktapurvam. So, na Purvoktam, if I may say. What should I say now? Something which is not said earlier than these four people
You always have
immediately.
out of the box ideas.
Yeah, I know. So that's why now I was just thinking. I am extremely happy while listening to all of you, and more importantly to Swamini ji's particular point about drishti, srishti, srishti, drishti. So that has given me some idea, so that I can talk a little bit from a practical perspective today, which is relevant to these slokas. As they have explained, that Arjuna has first made a humble request, and because he has attained the state of humility after 10 chapters, and then he proceeds Devesha Jagannivasa. That's what he is asking with a complete surrender, Sharanagati, and is pleading, and rightly so, and because Karunamay jo hota hai, the merciful Lord Almighty, naturally, because it is said that if one rasa which is there, eko rasa karuna eva, that's what is said about. I mean, Jasab and Swamini will know about it, what I'm saying. Eko rasa karuna eva, the compassion is that's why the Lord mercy, the merciful Lord, they'll say. Even in other religions also, when they say, they pray either in Christianity or in Quran also, when they say Bismillah Rahman Rahim, that's about mercy of the Lord only, basically. The all bountiful and all merciful is the form of the Lord, that is the concept of the God. So we seek mercy. So we seek in more than different forms. And that is also because of this Srishti and then the Drishti. Based on that, I will. And the keywords which are used and which particularly caught my attention, apart from what he talked about, pleading him to the denouement or the appearance of the Lord in the form of Akiriti, Gada, Shankha, Chakra, that is Kaumodaki, Panchajanya, Sudarshana, and then Padma, and then Sharanga. So that is the form of the Lord. These are the Ayudhas the Lord Vishnu carries, which many of us may know. And particular word which caught my attention is that Darshitam Atma Yogat. So that's very important because throughout the last 10 chapters, Bhagavan, of course, throughout the entire 18 chapters, it's all about yoga, and then the three yogas, the Jnana Yoga, the Bhakti Yoga, and the Karma Yoga is about the yoga. Here he's talking about Atma Yogat. The Atma Yogat, in two ways we can look at it. Darshitam Atma Yogat. So from my point of view, because of my own self, the unification, the integration of my true self, through that I am revealing myself. That's what God seems to be saying. Darshitam Atma Yogat. And Darshanam Atma Yogat also can be interpreted. The way from a receiver's point of view, he is able to, because Nadrushtapurvam Anyena, Na Anyena, Nanyena. So that's what he is saying. Nobody ever saw this kind of the form, nor it is being seen by you also earlier. You may have seen different forms, and many of the people, like in the previous shlokas and then chapters, there was a reference to the other Siddha Sangha and then all that Swamini has talked about. But here, how is it different is because of the 10 chapters knowledge has given you some kind of a semblance of an integration of your own knowledge, and then that has given some yogic power to the Arjuna also. With that Atma Yoga also, he is able to. And here is a message, as I see, to understand the concept or the form of the God, which Bhattacharya was talking about. So that's how we need to understand. And from a practical perspective, to come to practical perspective, before that, he is saying, Na Veda Yajna Ajayana Dana Kriya Tapa. So we have to clarify here the inner meaning, because there is our people are very, very clever and then intelligent, They want to understand, and especially the woke, the newly woken up, the woke community, the so-called intellectuals, may misinterpret like they have done with the Manusmriti. Though Manusmriti is not applicable in Kali Yuga, oh, there are several, so much starting from Ambedkar and then all other people, even recently also, people are so foolish that, they want to burn that, and then, they want to criticize that, they want to create so much of anti-Sanatan narrative about it. That is all because of the ignorance of the people. Similarly, here also people, because of their ignorance or a chosen narrative which suits their own political, gains or aims. So people may say that ये देखो आपका भगवान ही बता रहे हैं कि न वेद यज्ञ न अध्ययन दान क्रिय तपा ये सब से कुछ नहीं होने वाला. आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू अपीयर टू यू. सो आप खुद ही आपका भगवान बोल रहे हैं. That's why do you want to study Veda? Why do you want to do yajna? Why do you want to do like that? There is a danger of people misunderstanding and misinterpreting. So that's why we have to understand the Atma Yogena. So for that there were references in other places that Yunjate Yogamatmanaha at one place he said, and in chapter 6:29, 6 by 29 he says, Ikshate Yoga Yuktatma Sarvatra Samadarshanaha. So that's what he is saying. And to answer Bhatte Saab's question or the dilemma which he expressed is, how do we find the concept of the God and the deity and then the God? It's all Drikunkarana, it's all a point of view, POV. सब ब्रह्म योग युक्तात्मा, जो योग युक्तात्मा होता है वही ब्रह्म. सब ब्रह्म योग युक्तात्मा. In the previous chapters it was given, the definition about that. And brahmavit brahmayo bhavati. So to understand that, you need to have ikshate yoga yuktatma, yunjate yogamatmanaha, and atma yogena. So that's what there is a full chapter of Atma Samyama Yoga, which is chapter 6, which was dedicated and which we have already interpreted and then dealt with it. People may have to go back and then review that. And scientifically looking at from a practical point of view, like Drushti and then Srishti, is that we cannot find or see what we do not have in us. That's what I would. We cannot find or see which we do not have in us. If we have a sattva guna, सब कुछ सत्व ही दिखाई देता है हमें. अगर हमारे दृष्टिकोण में और हम भरे हुए हैं, रजोगुण से भरे हुए हैं, तो पूरा रजसी दिखाई देता है. सेम थिंग अबाउट तमोगुण से जो भरा हुआ आदमी होता है, जो जॉन्डिस आईज, एवरीथिंग लुक्स येलो. दैट्स व्हाट दे से. सिमिलरली जो गुण प्रधान हम लोग चॉइस करते हैं, एंड द पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, इवन एट ए क्वांटम व्यू ऑल्सो, द साइंस ऑल्सो, द मॉडर्न साइंस ऑल्सो इज सेइंग दैट द एंटायर जगत, द यूनिवर्स इज व्हाट यू परसीव, एंड एक्चुअली असल में नहीं है. एंड सेम थिंग सिद्ध हुआ है आज ये श्लोकों से, और ये ज्ञानेश्वरी से भी सिद्ध हुआ है. So, and there is only one color, that is colorless, or white you may want to call it. And there is a Vibjayar which we are seeing because of the refraction, and that refraction is in the Prakriti or in the point of view of our Drishtikon se, because of the five, the Sharindriya, it is a Panchendriya plus Manas, and इसका विक्षेप से ये बहुधा दिखाई देता है. Similarly, there is only one God, and because of our point of view, we find, because of our own preference, जो किसी में elephant head में God दिखता है, किसी को और some bear में या tortoise में या fish में या समंदर में और सब कुछ में भगवान दिखाई देता है, because of their own chosen. और ऑन ए क्रॉस दिखाई देता है, या इन द एयर दिखाई देता है, या इन ए प्रॉफिट दिखाई देता है, गुरु में या पेरेंट्स में, सब कुछ में. दैट इज द ब्यूटी इन द ग्रैंड्योर ऑफ द सनातन धर्मा. दैट ये कोर जानना बहुत जरूरी है. एंड दैट इज व्हाई इट इज सेइंग, ही सीम्स टू हैव टेकन द एनोटेशन फ्रॉम द मुंडकोपनिषद. सो इफ आई मे कोट, that jnana, जब तक ये knowledge and awareness is not there, we tend to get stuck. with the multiplicity of the things that we see, and we fail to see the Sutre Manigana Iva, as it is saying, the internal the consciousness and the power behind all this tamasha or the jagat, Krishnaman Jagati jo bhi hai, all that is which is appearing in front of us as it really exists, as if it is real. That is why it is a beautiful word, midya. Still, there is no English word to that. It is not illusion. It is not mystic or whatever. So Mundaka Upanishad says, Jnana prasadena vishuddha sattva tatastutam pasyate nishkalam dhyayamana. That's what it says. Jnana prasadena. Here also, Bhagavan is saying that maya prasadena, prasannena. So that's what he's saying. The prasada or prasanna is about the grace and the mercy of the Lord. How is it? Because when you surrender yourself, God gets, or the concept of the God gets propitiated, and then prasanna हो जाता है. उनका प्रसन्न से तुम्हारा आत्मा योगा उत्पन्न हो जाता है. एंड देन योग साधना से सेल्फ को जानने से, आत्मा को जानने से, and when we realize that the jivatma which is in us is the actually the super consciousness परमात्मा सब में है विराजमान, स्थित कण कण में विराजमान जो परमात्मा है वो हमसे अलग नहीं है. जो हम में जो आत्मा अंतस्थित है, हृदयांतर स्थित, इससे भिन्न नहीं है. जब ये ज्ञान प्राप्ति हो जाता है तो जो आत्म संयोग हो जाता है, एंड फॉर सच काइंड ऑफ ए श्रद्धालु जो भक्त होता है उनको, that's what he says in even in 54 in the forthcoming shloka, bhaktya tvananya shikya. That's what he says in the next bhakti yoga. So it needs to be understood clearly. It doesn't mean that ये सब futile है. All these rituals or Veda, Yajna, Adhyayana, Dana, Kriya, Tapa. When you do it with a ritualistic point of view, or you just say, it is like saying that मैं साल में 10 बार तिरुपति जाता हूँ, या जम्मू जाता हूँ, वैष्णो देवी जाता हूँ, या काशी जाता हूँ 5 बार साल में, और वहां पे एक बड़ा बस शेल्टर बनाया. कोई बोल रहे थे यहीं पे एक महाशय 15 करोड़ मैंने दे दिया और ये कर दिया और इसको ये कर दिया वो कर दिया. People tend to say that इतना कि करता हूँ, या मैं 2 घंटा मेडिटेशन करता हूँ, समाधि में जाता हूँ. These claims people make, इससे कुछ नहीं होता है. Unless it is युञ्जते भक्त्या योगा युक्त आत्मा, when it is integrated with the single-minded devotion, bhakti, so the jnana and then the karma have to be unified with the bhakti, with the total devotion. Then even the Veda, the yajna, dana, tapa, kriya, homa, puja, namaskar, jo bhi hai, everything will come to fruition. That's how we need to understand and interpret for our own understanding and for others' understanding. Then सही ज्ञान का आवश्यकता होता है, एंड सही विश्व रूप जानने का संभावना और प्राप्ति भी हो सकता है. आई थिंक दैट्स हाउ वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड. थैंक यू.
दरबा साहब.
ओके, what is in it for lay people, for those people who can get into samadhi and all, unko theek hai, no problem. But what is it for lay people? I think Bhagavan seems to have given answer here also. What are the 2 tips? Very like nutshell mein tips, 2 tips it seems to have been given. And while I was thinking about these 2 words, my Bombay days, I was working and I was a HR man and I was handling unions. Unions बहुत दिमाग खाते थे, like सताते थे. तो मैं बोलता था, हे बघ, मला टेन्शन देऊ नका, टेन्शन घेऊ नका. First, you don't take tension and then don't give tension to me. Like that I used to say. Here also Bhagavan is saying there are 2 things. One is pritamanaha. The other one is mate vyadaha. Mate vyadaha and then pritamanaha. So pritamanaha is the prasanna chitta bano. So peace of mind is the most important thing. We hanker around, acquiring several materialistic things and then the power and all that, to prove our importance in the world, and then we feel great about all those possessions and properties and materialistic encomiums. But what is more important at the end of the day, as we progress in age and then maturity and realization, we realize that peace of mind is the most important. That's what he seems to be saying, Pritamana. And first you become the peace of mind and then prasanna chitta bhano. Uske baad mate vyadaha. Before to become that, don't be afraid of anything. You don't have to be afraid of anything. Once you are truthful and devoted, you need not fear. We discussed about that. So these are the two things. And that's what I
Right.
thought I'll highlight this. And prapasya, another thing. Earlier he said pasya me pardha pasya is saying. But here he is saying prapasya. So see it very well. थोड़ा गौर से देखो, prakrushta rupena pasya. So that's what also he is saying. So these are the three key words to take home learning. Thank you.
Right. नारकंडी साहब कुछ कहना चाह रहे हैं, कह लीजिए।
बाजी, आपने मराठी में तो बहुत ही अच्छा